and
Mm.
you guys went out
Amazing, man.
to protest a drag show over there.
Mm.
And when I watched it, I got to tell you, man, it was incredibly difficult to watch,
Mm.
and I couldn't believe the way these guys were defending the drag queens. I mean, they were like animals,
Oh
right?
yeah.
They were willing to fight
Mm.
for their right to have the drag queens there.
Listen, those peoples are willing to die to teach your childrens about sexuality. They're willing to die to show sexually explicit material to your children. That's how crazy those people are in the head. Okay? For real, man. That's a hill. They're willing to die. It's no question about it. It's
I
crazy.
saw yeah,
They're
I
insane.
couldn't believe it in the video when I saw the lengths that these
Yeah.
people, and I wonder how the human mind can get to such a dark place where
Yeah.
you are celebrating
Yeah.
this kind of behavior around kids to the point where you can't even see past the situation. Like you said, they were willing to die. They were willing. They just got right in the face. And I think if the police wasn't there, things would have escalated even more.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I had to. They were attacking one of my friends. I had to interfere at some point because man, they were really attacking him. I had to push a couple guys away because man, those people they were physically violent with us. It's like yeah, punching us and pushing us and Arm was one of my friends from Abbotsford. He went after him man like crazy. The guy who had the little banner. So yeah, those people.
what was the
Yeah.
police doing there?
Well, the police did nothing, but I'm gonna go in favor of the police a little bit sometimes on that one because they have to identify who's the bad guy. You know what I mean? So I think the best way to identify who's the bad guy is to let them do the bad things, man. And because after they identify who was the bad guys, I mean, they were around my friends and they were protecting him when he was on the truck speaking to people. So yeah, it's a tough one, man. It's because there is maybe police officer that think that we are religious, crazy religious people that want to push everything on the throats of everyone, and we are going to get violent to achieve that, which is not the case, right? And maybe there is, maybe some police think that, and then they realize, oh my gosh, no, those people are actually not religious fanatic. They just want to protect children. But yeah, it's hard. It's a tough game, man. And with everything that happened the past 2 years, it must be tough to be a police right now and make decisions because the politics went into the police force a lot, and they did push the peoples against the police a lot during the BLM process. And they found the police movement and all this stuff. So they were trying to make people hate the police. So I just think, man, yeah, I just think that the best way for the police, in my opinion, to solve the issues is to arrest those who commit criminal offense. It's very simple. Let's forget the politics and just, okay, you commit a criminal offense, you push, you hurt someone, I arrest you. That's it. Deal with it. Deal with it in the front of the judge. Because the police actually main job is to arrest people when they do bad things. They're the one who go there, take the guys, and put it somewhere until it's gonna go in the front of the judge, or remove them from a place so everyone is safe. So it's just, I think that they should just do their job, and that will be good. But it's a tough call.
I've spoken to the police. I really feel for them because
Yeah.
a lot of them did leave out of frustration as well, and some of them still stay on the force. And I know for a fact that they are being silenced within the force, and they're being politicized as well. And I've spoken to police officers about this, and I know I would not want to be in their situation. No. And they're stuck between protecting the very people who want to defund them, you know, and normal people. And it's difficult because these people hate the police, yet they want the protection of the police. And even in this video, it was very difficult to say what's going on. That's why I knew there was police on the side, because I've seen it. The documentary wasn't really focusing on the police. It was focusing more on that. That's why I wanted to know what your impressions were on the ground over there.
Yeah, well, the impression is I don't think most of the people that were there, I don't think they were from Ku Klux Klan. I think there is because there is a lot of the protesters that I saw there than I saw on other protests before, right? So they kind of, the same kind of people that go and make trouble everywhere. They're the same crew. But that time they had, I think they had two politicians, and one was the MP, I believe, of Ku Klux Klan. I don't remember her name, gosh. Anyway, and I think what happened is that she bring her crew with her. She's from the NDP, so I think she bring a bunch of people with her. So it was looking like there was a lot of people. That was a bunch of NDP people. That she's a politician. Of course, she's gonna bring people. You know what I mean? And she was there cheering for the drag queen. So
that was very cringe. When I watched it, I cringed so hard. And even the drag queen himself, like that guy, it almost seemed like he was getting pleasure out of pissing people off. And he was just acting like a rock star. It reminded me of a very religious kind of ceremony, more like he was like a priest, and he was like going around almost blessing people with his presence and with his words. It was very, very odd, very disturbing. Now, the drag show itself, was there a lot of parents that showed up to this, or was this more protest than drag show?
No, I think a lot of parents showing up to this, actually. Yeah. I don't know the number. I was not able to see how many parents, but I bet. Actually, no, I don't know. Actually, it's hard to know. I was not able to see it, so that would be just an assumption. So I didn't see many kids there, actually. I didn't see many kids.
That's good. That's a good sign.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Even in the library itself, I didn't see many children around. So maybe there is a few parents, a few freaking weirdo parents that bring their children there. Man, you gotta be a weirdo, okay, to bring your children to drag queen shows like that. I mean, you gotta, people have to be told the truth, man. Those people, they dress like women. They have a sexual feelings of dressing like a woman. There is research made about this. You don't just dress as a woman like that. There is something. It makes them feel sexual. And so they do this in front of children reading story? It's like, well, what kind of sexual feeling they have in the front of children? And they can say whatever the heck they want, man. You know what I mean? I'm sure they have a sexual feeling of being in front of children. And that's why they're doing this. For me, it's clear. It's very clear. It's just... and this sexual feeling is so freaking strong that they are willing to go against parents to go there, against protesters, against everyone, just to go and have their freaking feeling in front of children. This is how weird those people are. And I'm not talking about all the drag queens. Those who performs in the club that don't go in the front of children, I'm okay with that, man. I have no problem with those people. The people I have problem with is the people who go and perform the little freaking fantasy in the front of children. That's crazy. And what else? The things too. What is the main questions here? And a lot of people ask that question: where do we cross the line? And that's actually this is where Willow cancel Heather, right? When she stopped Heather to talk, actually, in the at the board meeting in Chilliwack, is Heather was asking, right? Where do we cross the line? Right? What is acceptable? What is not acceptable? It seems that. No, man. Yeah, those.
I think the line is crossed
Yeah,
when you start introducing kids and
yeah.
you start silencing parents,
Oh yeah.
right? Like
We
it's
don't
a
silence
pretty,
parents.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
pretty hard line that they're crossing with that.
yeah.
And, I would imagine the drag queens themselves, if they are performers, adult performers, if I was in their shoes, I would be pissed
Yeah.
that these other drag queens are giving them a bad name,
There
right?
we go.
Because these drag queens that are performing in front of kids, they're giving the entire industry a bad name. And the people who do enjoy it, who do like going out, performing in front of adults, now they're viewed as sexual predators, right?
Yeah.
Because this select few drag queens decide to take their performance in front of minors, which is unacceptable, completely unacceptable.
Yeah.
And to be a sexualized adult, now I see mostly men doing this, and I see, surprisingly, this always surprises me, how many women support this behavior. Whether it's men going to the women's change room, like these women do not stick up for children's rights. They do not stick up for women's rights, but they go on about the patriarchy or whatever they go on, right?
It's all about themselves. That's the things, right? They all want the attentions of the walls around them, man. You know what I mean? They're not mothers. You know what I mean? They are mothers, but the kids it's they're not that those women, okay? And I'm not talking to all, but most of women are very protective of their children. But I mean, those women.
These women that are enabling this behavior.
That's the one I'm talking about. Just to be clear, everything is centered about themselves, right? The kids is an object of the gratifications. You know what I mean? There's some women that go into trans their kids just so they got some attentions from it, right? It's common actually. Yeah.
This has nothing to do with gender, right? I would say there's people on both sides that are...
Most men are the one who are going to physically abuse a child. Okay, most men. So this is clear statistically that most men. Women have another way of being a psychopath. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's clear. So it's the woman psychopath. That's what they're gonna do. Right? They're gonna use the children, and there's gonna be the little object of gratifications, and they're gonna make that little child suffer for them. So it's just that's it. So it's man. That's
so we had a drag queen come into one of the schools last year, and I don't believe the parents were announced. Now, this drag queen was a math teacher, and there was an article on Waterloo District School Board basically making it like this. The students were rushing in to see this magical drag queen, and it was this crazy thing. Now, they also put in the article that I think they had to stop the comments and all of this because they've released so much hate, and they were saying people were discriminating against them and being hateful and all that stuff, which obviously parents were not happy that a drag queen was coming in and nobody knew, right? Surprise, kids. And this drag queen was going on talking, because she's a math teacher, how she's breaking boundaries and stereotypes. And it was very ironic to me because she is indeed breaking the boundaries by going into and using math, using something good to get in front of kids. And I was having a very hard time thinking, what does sexuality have to do with abilities? Like, you can be good at anything. You could be good at math, reading, science, right? And then you use these things to get people to come to you, but you're a sexual person, and this to me is a red flag. And obviously the parents weren't very happy about this because they had to put a little note due to the comments and the feedback. But the school made it sound like they're empowering, and you could be whatever you want to be. And when I see a sexualized adult around kids, I'm getting red flags there.